Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. We, the inhabitants of this strange timeline, are used to questionable sequels. Today we are going to talk about the GAIA II. This prototypical specimen of a direct-to-Bad Gear instrument is the successor to one of Roland's most controversial synth keyboards. While the original GAIA SH01 had a dark secret, this brand new digital synthesizer comes with a hefty price tag, plug-in-like engines and a design so similar to other manufacturers' creations it would make Uli Behringer blush. At the first glance, the Korg Minilogue GAIA II is ticking all the boxes. Knobs very similar to the original. A very emotional Synth touchpad. A surprisingly nice yet aftertouchless keypad. And maybe the first Roland display to deserve its name. At the heart of the presumably Xencor-based synth engine lies one easy-to-use wavetable oscillator with 63 tables containing 128 waves each. A versatile but currently non-expandable collection. It can, however, be tweaked further by introducing phase and shape modulation using the touchpad. Two conventional DA oscillators offer basic shapes that can be modified with a dedicated knob, as well as noise and a supersaw. I was missing the general MIDI sound set of the original though. A mix of these three sources hits an unpretentious filter with drive, and a practical tone knob, although Roland didn't include a modulation matrix. Routing of the two LFOs works like a charm. And there's classic XMOD, ring modulation, and synth. Having faders for the hardwired amp and filter envelope is great. It wouldn't be a Roland synth without a healthy dose of menu diving, which is astonishingly well implemented. The usual shift whatever combos aside, you can either select the desired section of the synth on a signal flow chart or press menu and move a knob for access to another layer of parameters for fine-tuning of patches and, most importantly, routing the oscillator envelope to wavetable position. The FX section with three iconic chorus types, nice reverbs, delays, and a versatile multi-FX unit benefits from the added depth of programmability as well. If the somewhat chilly timbre of this mono-timbral 22 voice engine isn't for you, Roland got you covered. It goes without saying that a costly synth like the GAIA II comes with all the current emulations of classic vintage synths. Just kidding, they only included a slightly anemic non-ACB SH101. And you have to throw money at them for further models. Although I was dealing with some calibration issues in the beginning, the importance of the Motional Pad cannot be overestimated. Experimental doodling aside, it can be used for LFO-like modulations and as a monophonic auxiliary envelope. The 64-step sequencer is more than usable, as is chord mode, and the Arpeggiator. There's integration into Roland ecosystems past and present, no MIDI through, build quality is business in the front and Toys R Us in the back, and the new style of manual design made me ROTFL. For this kind of money I would probably go with a Soma and a Night Frog. Thanks to the legendary people over at Klangfarbe for lending me the very first GAIA II they got hold of. Roland's new GAIA is an easily approachable husk for the current digital synth technology. Can it keep up sound-wise, and is it worth the price? You have already heard the synth in today's intro tune. That's an interesting combination of traditional Roland tones and more modern flavors. Let's start nice and easy with a classic Bad GAIA Jam 1. That's a tough one. I'd probably describe the overall sound as modern high-end plastic with plenty of Roland cheese. Certainly not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm sure you can make it work if you really want to. Although the envelopes are snappy and the oscillators have plenty of oomph, I wasn't satisfied with the bass tone. I wanna know how it compares to a classic 0 Years Bond villain. Interesting. Blofeld was able to handle the busy bassline with ease, while I had to rely heavily on the powerful internal FX section to make the Roland sounds fit in. GAIA II is not exactly a synth that gets my creative juices flowing. I honestly tried my best I know it's basically a more danceable version of Jam 2, but it was late and I only became aware of the similarities after I was finished. Sorry for that pseudo-epic 128 BPM 4 on the floor stuff. GAIA II is an easy-to-use synth and it sounds okay. For a 2004 VST plugin, the streamlined workflow, hands-on controls and usable keypad turn it into an interesting choice for live bands, and it's a great educational tool for beginners. Positive traits it shares with its predecessor. It is, however, missing a few of the main features of the first installment, namely the multi-timbral structure and ample polyphony, while it doesn't provide the sonic depth and elegance of comparable synths. As Halloween is approaching, I had hoped that GAIA II would be truly and shockingly bad, but all we got were the horrors of mediocrity. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show. Thanks to all my patrons for supporting the channel and welcome to the monthly Vocoder shoutouts. Unfortunately, GAIA II comes without any features for processing external audio. Let's vocodize it using Ableton's stock vocoder, Tier 4.
Listenable and scale, Brian Gregory, silicon bassist, DJ Van Diagram, glitching, Letting this go.
Tier 6.
Dagobert Michaelsen, EMJ.
Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. See you next month.